Is it the same similar worldview, but from a different angle? Okay, hold on. I got to start the virtual camera real quick. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we gotta get the camera on.
1 second. I'm going to turn it on right now. Hold up. My camera, OBS virtual.
You're streaming too, right?
Yeah. I'm live right now to 41,000 people.
Ourselves. We don't see you though.
Hold on. I'm going to turn on the camera.
What's up, my old friend?
Hasan.
What's
How
up?
was the bachelor party?
Good to meet you over Discord.
Yeah, you're the last Nelk standing that I have not met.
And then you met and introduced you guys.
Okay. All right. So I haven't seen what you guys did, but I assume that it's a.
Wait, you can hear us, right?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Good. All right. Let's see what you got to say.
Okay. Hold on.
Can you also say hello to my friend Kyle here?
What's up, Kyle?
What up, bro? Where are you at right now?
Where am I at right now?
Yeah.
I'm in LA. I'm in my house.
Sonny said you were doing a little bachelor party today.
Yeah, no, I just got back from Vegas yesterday. I was in Vegas.
Oh, nice.
All right, so you guys interviewed the Adolf Hitler incarnate, Benjamin Netanyahu, and now everybody's yelling at you guys. I assume, right? Is that what's going on?
Yes, we're getting definitely some yells.
Yeah. Okay, so first and foremost, who the fuck set that up? Was it Miriam Adelson?
Well, we actually toured the White House right before, and he was in DC. So it's kind of like
someone must have. Benjamin Netanyahu wasn't like, I love the Nelk Boys. I'm a big consumer of Happy Dad, and then was like, let's do this.
Well, we've had Trump on a few times.
Some of the communications team at the White House hit us up, connected us with their communications team, and presented us the opportunity to do it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And you guys were like, let's do it. Sounds great.
I mean, yeah, I can say it again. I've said it a few times, but I can't speak to podcasting as a whole. And, other podcasters, they'll have people on with just people they've had good relationships with, or their friends, or people they agree with. But with the Full Sun podcast, hate it or love it, right or wrong, if we ever get the opportunity to have a controversial guest on, we're never going to turn it down. Because in my opinion, what we want to do with the Full Sun podcast on is we're not afraid to have controversial people on. We're going to ask them questions. Sure, we're probably not the best at asking questions. We're not the best journalists, never claimed to be. So we might not be the best at pressing them. But in my opinion, it's up to the viewer to form their own educated opinion. Like, we have someone controversial on, we ask them questions. I think people give us a little too much credit when they say, oh, you're platforming him, or like, I think, sure, we have a young audience, but they're not fucking stupid. And we don't think they're stupid whatsoever. And I think this podcast is a perfect example of that. If you go and read the comments, just because we have someone on, we're sitting beside someone, people aren't going to be like, oh my God, Nelk's with them. Like, I fucking love this person. Like, yeah, wait, that's just not the way it works.
I don't think anybody loves Benjamin Netanyahu. I don't even think American presidents like Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, though.
But and I don't think you can listen. I don't think you can platform the fucking prime minister of Israel. That's not my argument. I don't really give a shit about that. My question is, like, do you feel like there is a culpability that you have? Because, like, look, Donald Trump is a contentious figure, and obviously he's responsible for a metric ton of pain and violence as well, but so is every other American president. That's one thing. But Benjamin Netanyahu is, like, unique in the sense that he's also a foreign leader. So I guess the question is, like, what because he's getting something out of this, right? He's getting something out of this where he gets to, I guess, like, try and humanize himself.
That's the thing that's on is we'll have anyone on. Like, next episode, we're going to have someone on with the complete opposite ideology that we've already been planning before this podcast came out.
Who are you guys having on?
I mean, I'd love to hear your suggestions. We have from different friends. You could DM us after if you don't want to say them live, but we're talking to a few different people and we want to choose the right person to kind of represent, the opposite side.
Okay, but Benjamin Netanyahu isn't just like a podcaster. You know what I mean? Like he's literally the fucking prime minister that is a war criminal by the International Criminal Court. He's like literally branded as a war criminal, and it's unique because like the International Criminal Court is a European institution, and they've never actually criticized an American or anyone who's an American ally in the past. So it's like he's killed so many children that even the International Criminal Court was like, "Damn, this guy fucking sucks." Yeah. He's literally like interviewing Adolf Hitler.
I think if you watch it though too, I think yes. I think me and Steiny could have pressed him a little bit harder, but we did ask him, "What is your response to when people say you're starving children in Gaza? Do you think October 7th could have been prevented? Are you trying to implement regime change in Iran? Like Americans don't want another war with regime change." So we definitely did ask him some questions that I think people wanted to know.
Okay, what did he say? I mean, of course, he said
for starving children in Gaza, he said that they bring the food in and Hamas steals it and then sells it.
That's a lie. You know what I mean? Like that's so.
Right.
So here's the thing.
What's your opinion? So, Hasan, you got to remember, one side's going to say one thing, and the other side's going to say it's a lie.
I don't think you guys having a conversation with Benjamin Netanyahu is the interesting point of contention here for me, at least. Like I mean, I think it's in and of itself, it's like worthy of scrutiny because it's like, you guys, it's like interviewing Adolf Hitler. Like, would you interview Adolf Hitler during the Holocaust if you had the opportunity? Probably not, right? And we had less information on the Holocaust while it was happening than we do on this modern iteration of a genocide because we get to see it in real time because we have the internet.
Okay, so wait, what's your response to what he answered us? You didn't even talk about that.
It's a fucking lie. No human rights organization that works on the ground from the UN to the World Food Program has ever agreed to the Israeli position that this is all Hamas stealing aid or whatever. As a matter of fact, they've openly said that is not the case at all. It's just a way for Israel to continue justifying its starvation policies against the entire civilian population of Gaza so that they can claim that like, oh, Hamas is just like stealing this aid. It's bullshit. They've never actually given a single piece of fucking evidence for this. It is just a claim that people have to supposedly take at face value because Israel said it. It's a lie.
And what's the other side's proof? Just so we can play both sides here.
Well, the other side is not even like the side of the Palestinians. I'm not even offering the side of the Palestinians. The Palestinians obviously think that that's bullshit as well. But the other side is an unbiased third party. The World Food Program is not, on board with Hamas. The World Food Program or the UN is not Hamas or anti-Semitic or anti-Israel beyond, the obvious reasons why you would be anti-Israel because they're doing these things and then lying about it.
So what's your overall opinion of us? Like Kyle just stated that we're having a world leader on. That's what we're more focused on.
I think it was dumb. I'll be honest. Because it's not.
But you would do the same thing, Hasan, if you had the opportunity. 100%.
No, I mean, there's a difference, though. I'm well equipped to have a conversation with Benjamin Netanyahu because when he says something like that, I can turn around and be like, well, the World Food Program has said that, there is no evidence to suggest that Hamas is stealing aid. Whereas you don't have that follow-up in that situation. And Benjamin Netanyahu knows that and his team knows that, which is precisely why he went on the Nelk Boys podcast and he didn't go on, my stream or something. And I don't even know if I would honestly have a conversation with him if given the opportunity.
In my opinion, I think that, like, for example, I think Trump is really good on a podcast. Like, obviously, that's why he did his whole podcast. I mean, he's clearly a good speaker. Like, you can't deny that. But I think, in my opinion, just because we platform someone, it doesn't necessarily equate to, like, a positive outcome for the guest. And I think this is, like, a perfect example of that. Like, this could even be a negative thing.
No, I think in the grand scheme of things, like it's not moving the needle because Benjamin Netanyahu gets positive coverage from every outlet. He gets positive coverage from every outlet. So you guys are marginal in that regard. It's not like all that significant. But if you're looking for
what I'm trying to say though.
What do you mean?
If Fox News has him on and they're more supportive of him than we have him on.
CNN that's why I'm saying it's marginal. Like you having him on is marginal as opposed to like him going on Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, CBS, all of those other outlets, and then not just Benjamin Netanyahu, but like Israeli envoys going on CNN every night and saying, well, we blew up this mosque, or we blew up this church because Hamas was in it, or whatever. That is ultimately playing a role in crafting this elaborate narrative that Israel is always in the right, Israel has a right to defend itself, and that they have to do these things. They have to contextualize this violence. Like, all of that plays a much larger role. You guys just basically are presenting a similar perspective that you get from CNN or Fox News, but now to a younger audience that's going to look at, I guess, maybe Benjamin Netanyahu and be like, he's a chill guy that you can hang with, but I don't even know if he's capable of doing that.
Wait, Hasan, here's kind of where I disagree with you. Is if you watch CNN or you watch Fox News, you kind of know what narrative you're looking for. And with us playing that neutral ground, you don't know what you're going to get, right? So that's the differentiator. And like we told, I don't know if Kyle mentioned this earlier, but we're having a pro-Palestinian on as our very, very soon here. So
I don't know who you guys are having on, but I mean, it depends on.
What I'm trying to say is, like, how are we, if we're a neutral podcast, how are we anything like either side? If you know what you're going to get when you tune into either network.
No one is fully neutral in that regard, right? Because like that's why I asked, like, would you, if Osama bin Laden wasn't dead, would you interview him?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. That's a tough question.
Would you?
If Osama bin Laden wasn't dead, yeah, of course. And the same but it would be contentious in the same vein as the Benjamin Netanyahu interview. Like, there are people that I interview that the American audiences would consider.
If you got bin Laden, you'd never be able to grill him, because you would have had to go to Afghanistan. You would have missioned to a cave, and they would have.
No, I mean, we're setting up a hypothetical scenario where bin Laden is able to like connect via Discord. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I'm not gonna fucking interview bin Laden with a gun trained on my head. That would not be a situation. Like, that would not be the case. He's dead anyway. In the hypothetical,
right. Well, I mean,
would you be able to?
We interviewed him in the White House with fucking 20 people standing around us in suits that we didn't know who they were. So it's almost,
I think in that
not the same situation,
a little different.
Yeah,
I mean, respectful.
Okay, so my point is, it would not. Would you be neutral with bin Laden in the same way that you're like a neutral podcast?
I think we would. Yeah, we would do our best to ask him tough questions.
Okay. All right.
I think
what
there's
about
a sense
ISIS?
of understanding too, right? Well,
what about Adolf Hitler?
I think we'd always kind of play the neutral role.
You would play a neutral role interviewing Adolf Hitler. I don't think that's the case. I think you're just saying that right now because you want to.
We're just not the best at grilling guests and pushing back on them, to be honest. Like I said, we're not claiming to be good journalists. Like, we can ask a question, but when it comes to like a follow-up question, I'll be honest, we're not the most, like, I've never claimed to be super educated on this.
Hasan, you haven't even watched the podcast.
I haven't. I haven't had time. I don't know what kind of questions you guys ask, but I assume.
Wait, listen. The first few minutes is us sitting there like, yo, we are not qualified to do this. This is fucking insane. We acknowledge the fact that, yeah, you're right. We're not the best journalists. We're not the most fit to do this. But the fact that we had an opportunity to interview a world leader, two guys like us, we're going to jump on that just as I know you would. So
yeah, but the difference is the difference is like if there was a situation where I felt like I was ill-equipped for the task, I would just not do it. You know what I mean?
I didn't say we're ill-equipped, but I said there's people probably more fit.
Well, I mean, if you're I mean, this is a unique opportunity. You have an unprecedented opportunity.
The Full Send podcast is, I'll be honest. No, let's be honest. The Full Send podcast is never going to be the fucking best line of questioning. Like, I'll be honest. That's the honest truth. Let's be fucking real here. That's exactly, and that's why they choose us, and that's why the show is what it is, because we're kind of dumb and we're not the best fucking. We're not. Let me
ask you guys this: is there a person?
The Full Send podcast is what it is.
Is there a person that you guys wouldn't interview? Because like we're also like now stuck on whether you guys should be interviewing Benjamin Netanyahu or not. I think if someone is
in today's age, like right now, I think that's a fair question to ask. Right now,
like, would you? What did you say?
I think about right now.
You gotta speak to people that are alive, because
you can't speak in time. Yeah, we're saying right now because that's pretty much where we're at. So if we could interview anyone right now, like who would we say no to? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I can't think of someone.
Okay, so like even out of like because the reason why I have to go back to historical figures that have conducted genocides is because like Benjamin Netanyahu is doing one right now, and he's not even the singular force of evil here.
You're talking about hypotheticals, bro. That's where you lose me, because you're talking about.
Well, I mean, the reason why I'm is trying. Well, I'm using this as an analogy.
Like Tucker Carlson had Putin on. Other journalists have.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson had Vladimir Putin on, and when Tucker Carlson had Vladimir Putin on, he did that in a capacity to do propaganda for Vladimir Putin. For sure, he didn't push back at all. He was there. He was in Russia, and he did it specifically so he could do.
You really can't. You really can't in that situation.
I know, but that's precisely why. Like sometimes it's better not to take that opportunity. You know what I mean? That's my position.
Right. Like for the
even then, Tucker Carlson, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Tucker Carlson is still more equipped to at least have like follow-up questions. Like think about the Ted Cruz interview that he had. Like he obviously is.
Yeah, of course. Tucker's the man in my opinion. But when I watched that Putin interview, like I thought Putin was like dodging questions and he like didn't answer anything. So that's what goes back to my point of like platforming someone. And I think just because we have someone on, it doesn't always mean a positive for the guest. And I think. I mean, you go read this comment section, like, I don't think this is necessarily a positive thing for Netanyahu.
Yeah, but it's not a positive thing for you guys either, because most of your audience is probably already anti-Israel and anti-Netanyahu, so now they're yelling at you guys.
That's
so
fine,
now
I can sleep at night knowing, like, our intention with this, and you know, we're not fucking pro-Israel. I'm not pro-Israel. I don't know enough about this conflict, to be honest. I only see what I read online, and I hear his point of view, then I hear your point of view. I really have no idea what's going on. I'd love to learn more. But
yeah, but I think you got to do that before you do an interview. Look, my point is this.
Okay, wait,
what you guys did is from my estimation, okay, what you guys did is no different than like what CNN does, okay? You just basically presented someone who is a war criminal, someone who is doing a genocide in a somewhat neutral light. And you can't be neutral when you have someone like Benjamin Netanyahu directly in an opportunity to talk to him. But that's what happened. So there is moral culpability here for you guys individually.
Well, I think this is the way we roll with this is it's going to give us the opportunity to get the biggest people in the world. And I think you'll know by the Full Send podcast when you watch it. It's like, hey, we're going to watch these guys are going to get big guests. We might not necessarily get these guys grilling these people, and that's just what you're going to come to expect.
I know, but if you don't grill them, then all you're doing is like, you know, just like I said,
we're having them on. And
what you're doing in that situation is basically just propaganda. No,
I still think people are hold on.
Wait, Tyler, you're missing the biggest point here, Hasan. We're looking to have someone from the opposite side and give them the exact same opportunity.
Okay, well, you would have to have. I mean, there is no opposite side because like there's one side that's being genocided and the other side that's doing the genocide. So in this situation,
opposite
like it would be like interviewing the leadership of Hamas. You know what I mean? And that's illegal under. I mean, I don't think you would be able to conduct that on your own.
We would 100% do that if we were safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the Iranian supreme leader called me right now and we knew we were safe, we would obviously do
yes.
Okay, the Iranian supreme leader is not.
Which I think it's funny. I think it's funny that you haven't watched yet because you're going kind of ham on us and you haven't.
Well, I haven't had the opportunity to watch it. I was going to get to it.
You're busy.
But
what I was going to say is that we did talk about Hamas. We did talk about a lot of these things.
I know, but just simply talking about it without having the proper knowledge and the proper equipment to be able to push back when he's lying only turns it into an opportunity for him to like. Why do you think Benjamin Netanyahu did this? He did this because
no, we agree with you.
No, we agree with you. We're not. We know that.
Bro, that's the reason
he used you guys is what I'm saying. He used you guys and your lack of knowledge on this issue.
I don't know if that was necessarily successful though.
Yeah, that with Kyle, I agree.
I mean,
I think everyone's seeing what Trump did and Hasan after the whole election. The whole story was how podcasts won the election. Blah blah blah. That was every story. Like I even did a bunch of interviews on it too. And I think obviously the Israeli team sees that and they're like, oh, we need to do podcasts. But in my opinion, not everyone is a Trump and that good of a speaker that can go on and kind of adapt to any environment. And I think that Netanyahu came on, and I think you see the response. And I think that podcasting doesn't work for anyone. We saw what happened with Kamala too. Like, she was a fucking disaster on pods. So I think just because we platform someone, it doesn't necessarily like mean that we're trying to help them. Or I think viewers are a lot smarter than they think they are.
Okay, Benjamin Netanyahu is a multiple decade politician and has been the leader of Israel in perpetuity. He is a lot better at propaganda than you think he is. Okay, first of all, let's just get that out of the way. The idea that you think that he is not capable of like weaving through a couple softballs that you thought were hard-hitting questions that he has probably addressed a million times over is silly. Let me make no mistake.
Oh no, yeah, I agree with you on that.
So my question to you is, why do you think he wanted to come on the Nelk Boys podcast? He saw the podcast.
Of course he wanted to.
We're not stupid, bro.
Of course he wanted to come on to try to win over the young audience. We're not disagreeing on that.
Okay.
I'm saying I don't necessarily know if that's successful. And I think just because you come on the Full Send podcast and sit beside Nelk Boys and take some softball questions, if you say that, it doesn't necessarily equate to a positive outcome for the guest. I don't think platforming people
like the question is this, right? The question is the same. Like Adolf Hitler comes on the podcast. I mean,
you can just go read the comments. Like
Adolf Hitler comes on the podcast. You guys are having a conversation with him, and he starts, and you're like, why are you sending Jews to the concentration camps?
Hitler. I think we should speak. I think we should speak by something.
No. The reason why we're using this analog is because I think that there's
that's a fair comparison.
The reason why, well, I don't think it's an unfair comparison at all. I think it's a perfectly apt comparison.
It's not realistic.
But we can talk about, okay, because that's an analogy. So I'm using that. I'm using that as an analogy because Adolf Hitler is a figure that you and I both agree is a truly evil, monstrous figure.
Why don't you just name one person alive for the analogy?
But I'm using this as an analogy because you already have established that Adolf Hitler is like doing something akin to what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing. That's why I'm using this as an analogy. There's no modern contemporary that I can use at this moment that you would have that would have a similar impact for you. That's why I'm using it as an analog.
But you're talking about completely hypotheticals.
Yeah, of course, that's what an analogy is. I'm comparing.
I understand
as long as the crimes are comparable, which is genocide on both ends. As long as the crimes are comparable, then and you understand that the crimes are comparable. If you think that there's something wrong with the analogy, you can tackle why I'm using it as an analogy, not just saying, "Oh, you can't use an analogy."
I wasn't allowed. I can't speak to it. I wasn't allowed. But if you can make the analogy.
But you know the Holocaust happened, right? Like obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so.
Okay, so since you understand that the Holocaust happened, hello?
Are you good now?
You changed your fit. You changed your fit. DDoS hacker.
No, we have this is the same problem that's persisting with what do you call it? With the Phase Boys too, and like HasanAbi. Anyone that uses IRL Toolkit's been getting clobbered. Speed has been having issues too. We all use the same service as like a mediator between OBS and Twitch, and their servers are getting fried, which is why I was unable to continue streaming. So I had to shut off my stream and restart it. But it's fine now.
But you changed your fit as well.
Yeah, I put on a jacket.
You threw on the black jacket.
You got to look good for the big interviews, all right?
Yeah. No, it's cold in here. All right, so we were talking, for those of you in my chat who are just tuning in, I'm talking to the Nelk Boys. They interviewed war criminal with an arrest warrant out by the International Criminal Court Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. This is part two of the conversation that we were having. So, I was giving you guys an analogy, a hypothetical.
Hold on. Hasan, one second. No, hold on. I told Hasan one thing. Hasan, you want absolutely nobody in here, even if they're allowed on Twitch? Real quick before I cut you off.
No, I can't. I can't have someone who is not allowed on Twitch to be on the call. Then I'll get banned.
What about Adam Friedland?
Oh, Adam Friedland's fine. Yeah. What? Yeah, of course.
Let's spice it up for part 2.
Okay, we'll bring Adam in now.
That's not spicing it up.
No, it's not. It's not. Adam's not gonna spice it up. Adam is a comedian. He's funny.
Adam is also a good friend of mine.
That's what I mean by spice.
Hasan, go ahead with what you were saying.
Okay. So, I mean, he's not gonna spice it up, but he will turn the conversation into a silly direction. But what I was asking you guys is the reason why I said Adolf Hitler is because it's a comparable crime, right? We were using that as an analogy. I was using that as an analogy because, like, we both understand that he did a horrible crime, the Holocaust, and that it is comparable to what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing. Wait, did I lose you guys? What the fuck? Hello? Oh, God. I think they opened up another chat. Jesus Christ. Okay. Hello?
I've never had... bro, what's good?
One second.
Turn on your camera. What up, Adam?
Me?
Adam's
No,
camera's
Adam,
on.
you're
I
fine.
think it's just us
My
three.
camera's on.
I can hear you.
Dude, I've
We're
been editing.
we're
for like
fixing it.
3
We have our
days.
guy doing this shit remote.
Okay.
Aaron, is that you?
Adam, what's going on, bro?
Who's in the pink square right now?
It's the Nelk Boys.
Me?
It's
What's
Steiny and the other Nelk.
It's great to
You know
collab.
what? You know
Hasan, say his name.
What's my name, bro?
Hasan, say his name. Do not be disrespectful up in here.
Aaron, what's goody, bro? Did you watch the episode?
I did. It was amazing.
Hasan, you can't
Thank
say
you
my
again
name.
for having us on.
What's
or having
up?
me
What
on. I
is
appreciate it.
Kyle,
That was
right?
funny.
You know my name, bro.
It's Kyle.
Kyle Forgard.
Yeah.
Is Steve there?
No, it's just me and Kyle.
What are you guys doing? Hitting happies, doing zaps. Dude, I
No
watched
zap.
so much of your guys' stuff for like 2 weeks.
No,
What's
no
going on? Why
zap
do you want me
tonight.
to understand?
What's going on?
Oh, by the way, Aaron,
Hold
you
up.
bitch
Our
ass.
guy's just fixing this shit right
No,
now.
I want to tell Aaron something. My guest this week is G Herbo, and you were talking shit to me that rappers would never accept me, and he's by far he's accepted me.
I love G Herbo. It's also G Herbo. The H
What
is
is going
silent,
on?
bro.
What?
The H is silent. It's G Herbo. But yes, I love
whatever.
him.
Yeah, we're very good. We text and stuff.
Can you guys see us?
No.
What is going on right now?
Adam,
This-
how do you know Hasan? That's a real question. Is how are you and Hasan allies?
It's on from the Bund, from the workers, the People's Workers Party.
Damn,
down
we're
here,
actually
bro.
getting gifted. We're actually getting subs during this. Shout out Jenny, full send community.
Okay, so
No,
Adam,
why can't I see you guys? And why am I on this
Give
right
us,
now? I'm
give us.
we're gonna get in there in a sec. But Adam, we have Hasan's here. Me
They
and Kyle here.
interviewed.
We've had 5 different people in here, and now Hasan. Oh, there we go.
Oh, boom.
Whoa,
It worked.
Kyle Forgard.
What
Nice to
up,
meet you,
Adam?
bro.
Good to meet you, bro.
This guy, Aaron.
Adam's a
Cool
great
guy.
guy. Adam's a good
What-
guy.
Adam seems like good vibes.
He's a troll, but he's a good dude. I fuck
What
with
is
him.
going on right now? You guys please explain to me.
Hasan will explain.
Yeah, wait, Hasan, why don't you go ahead and debrief Adam on what's going on as you changed your fit before you lagged out?
Yeah. What happened is these guys, the brilliant minds of the Nelk Boys podcast, went and interviewed war criminal Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and now they're getting
What?
Yeah, they did.
What? Guys, in the middle of a war?
It was a genocide.
Aaron,
Adam, it's a war leader. We have to do it.
you know 60,000 people, lowest estimates, are dead right now.
We understand. We have empathy with everyone who's been affected by the war in general, but we are going to have a pro-Palestinian on next week. That's what we do here. We do not.
He's charged with as a war criminal by the ICC. It's you could have Slobodan Milosevic on.
We would have a lot of people on.
Would have anyone on.
They said they would have. They said they would have Adolf Hitler on.
No, we did not.
We never said that.
Hasan.
Okay, they said they would have Osama bin Laden on, but not Adolf Hitler.
Okay.
We said it too long ago.
I'm catching up right now. And did you press him? Did you you dunked on him or something?
We asked him what was his response to starving children in Gaza. Could he have stopped October 7th? Is he looking to have regime change in Iran? And we told him that Americans don't want to see another regime change war in the Middle East.
We told him
They
asked him if he was starving children in Gaza, and he said no. It was Hamas starving children in Gaza. Adam.
Wait. Answer this. Hasan, did they glaze?
I don't know. I haven't seen the excerpts yet.
I haven't seen it either. I was editing the G Herbo interview, and it's one of my finest moments, and now you've ruined my day. What are you guys doing? Wait, guys, can I get Aaron? I was hinting
That's
at
just
this.
what we do. That's just what we do. So, listen. That's just what we do. So I think what we did is we had someone on right now.
He watched Aaron.
Let me finish.
4 podcasts.
Adam.
I think this is actually going to be a great thing. If everyone thinks we have such a big platform, would you guys agree or no? Hasan?
Yeah, you guys have a decently sized platform.
People wouldn't be pissed, right? If we didn't have a big platform. So if we have
I think people would still, your fans would, depending on how they feel about it, they probably would be.
Right. So right now we just had Netanyahu on. A bunch of people watched it. I think a lot of people saw through what he was saying. Now already on the same day, we've had 3 people on with complete opposite viewpoints: Hasan, Sneeko, Myron,
Nick
Fuentes. So
okay. Don't loop me in with those guys.
Let me finish.
Don't put me in the same category as these guys.
Viewpoints of Netanyahu. Let me finish. So already we've had 4 people with opposite viewpoints on the very same day, and then the next episode of the Full Sun podcast, we're gonna have someone very, very reputable with the complete opposite viewpoint of Netanyahu. So I personally think, and listen, there's a lot. You guys gotta understand though, Hasan. There's a lot of people. I know there's a lot of people like Hasan though that are educated on this issue, and there's a lot of people like myself who are really not. And I know there's a lot of people watching right now that are the same way as me, that just read shit and don't know what to believe. And if you read stuff and you really don't know what to believe, like I know Hasan, that might be tough for you to understand because you're so educated on the topic. Yeah. But there is a lot of people that don't know what to believe.
I know, but that's why
what we're doing is
you're giving more reason as to why it's bad that you guys interviewed him.
No, we're not. Because
that's the problem. Because
they're already listening to you, Hasan. A lot of people in our audience have honestly never heard of you, and I'm sure likewise they've never heard of us, so they dislike us. So we're putting you onto our audience now, and they're hearing your point of view. And then next week on the podcast, they're going to hear someone really reputable with the complete opposite view of Netanyahu. So I personally think right now we're going to bite the bullet, and I think we're going to take a lot of flack. But I think within a week or 2 weeks' time, we're actually going to be educating our entire audience and probably the entire internet on everyone's point of view.
You're doing crisis PR right now, and I can tell this is really stressful because everyone's mad at you. But please,
it's not,
you guys
bro.
Just do pranks. People like to see you guys partying. Why you guys keep
we'll still party, bro?
In the middle of, people can't leave Gaza.
Adam, we were in Central Pay for a few days after this.
People that live there are children.
We were in
75%
we agree with you.
Children. Why are you wading into that? People like you guys because they like to party. You hit zaps. You do happy dads. You guys are fucking chill. I like to see Steve will do a chug. Just do it. Why are you touching that? Not everything is.
I agree. You know what? Adam's right. We don't have to.
It is a brutal blood. It is blood. It is violent.
Adam, that's a problem.
Why are you guys?
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something.
And if you're not qualified to touch it.
We're gonna drink. We're gonna hit zaps, and then we're also gonna interview fucking world leaders.
But it's not just like, dude, you're not like interviewing the prime minister of Albania. Okay, you're like, this is a guy. This is not.
Hasan,
If you
Hasan,
did
Hasan,
that, no one would.
you're
You
being
wouldn't
an
have to.
idiot.
You wouldn't be doing this video or this video call anyway. If you were doing that, nobody would give a shit.
We plan to do the stream. You can check my story. We plan to do this before we.
And Hasan, you're coming in here all hot, but it's like, bro, we told you exactly what was gonna happen. I texted you ahead of time.
I know, but
we're gonna have someone who's pro-Palestinian on the other side.
okay, but that
And you're
doesn't
coming in here with all this
change the
animosity, and
dynamic.
it's just like, dude,
I found
you're
out
trying to
about it.
press
I
us in
found out
front of
about the
your
interview
audience,
after
you're trying
you
to
had
prove a
already
point, but it's
conducted
like,
it.
You haven't even watched the episode. You're trying
I know,
to
but if you were to have asked me ahead of time, I would have told you not to do it.
Even if he watches it, he'll still think the same
Listen,
thing.
No, I know, but I'm
I've
just trying to impress him.
I've watched so much Nelk. I love you, boys. Listen, boys. This is let's zoom out. This is a problem with today, with our society. Like even the fact that you're talking to Sneeko and Myron from Fresh and Fit, like that's not like these are content creators. These aren't fucking historians.
Yes.
These are people that like. These are the fact that like the experts on its politics and its war and its violence. There are people that study this, right? It's just not everything's content, guys.
But that's
Just
what we're gonna have
try-
on the next episode,
You
bro.
had Coke. Jesse would have never allowed this were he here. Jesse, he
Don't
told
hit
me
me
he
with
watched
that.
this episode.
I don't know enough about the
Adam comes
Nelk
very-
history.
He comes very
I don't know about the Nelk
serious.
history to know what
Yeah,
Adam is
that's
saying, but it seems to be impactful.
That's one thing about Adam is he will fucking know everything
That's
that's
good.
gonna
That's
happen.
not-
That's good.
You think that they just didn't realize? You think that you think it's banality of evil? Guys, there's a book by this lady Hannah Arendt that I want you guys to read. The Banality of Evil. And I want you guys to get back to me on it. Because it's sometimes like it's sometimes I'm doing a podcast. It's just a podcast. But you don't realize that there's like a gravity there. There are powerful people wanting access to your fucking platform that have an agenda. It's just like when I was asking about like Zuckerberg, right? He like his stock plummets when he's like doing the censorship around COVID, and then everyone's like, "You're anti-free speech Democrat," and then he puts a chain against muscles, and then his stock goes back up. But like it's this everyone that says you're an anti-free speech Democrat is like, "No, you're sick because you do bow and arrow." But he's like he's going on podcasts now because it's his stock price. It's an advantage for them, and
They're
it's like,
using you
guys,
guys.
like,
They're using you guys to look good.
Hasan, Hasan, bro. Why does anybody, Hasan? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Hasan,
Yeah.
anyone goes on a podcast to promote whatever they're doing. We're
Yeah,
aware of
but
that.
they're not. But Benjamin Netanyahu's not promoting a book, dog. He's promoting a genocide.
Bro,
That's
we
the
have
point.
fucking O.J. Simpson on. We have Andrew Tate on. It's the same shit.
Okay,
This one
none
might
of
be a
those
little bit
things.
more.
You do
You're
realize
right,
that
they
like
don't match. No,
this is
I
the
agree with
one
you. They don't match
instance.
the-
This is the one instance where it's the worst guess you could have because these
We
guys
agree.
are
We
bad
agree.
people. But what you're talking
We
about is the
100%
worst
agree,
person.
Hasan.
It's the most hated man on the planet.
But Hasan, we agree.
Aaron's-
But also, if
to
we're
Aaron's
gonna do it,
credit,
then who's not gonna
protect
do
you,
it?
Aaron. I'm gonna hook your ass up. I said BB to that guy Yossi, who's your Mossad handler, and Aaron said, "Who's that?" He didn't know that. He didn't know that he's named BB. I'm just that's
Even I
protecting.
get that.
No, you said who's that, which is good. I mean, like, guys, just it's like unless you know, like, it's wading into fucking like it's violence and they're bombs and
No,
rubble.
Adam,
and
you're right.
dead
You're right.
people.
You are
Like,
right. We
you don't have to
definitely
do
realize that.
content about it. You don't have to do like we're gonna fucking collab with him. We're gonna collab with BB and Bonnie Blue. Guys, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just a way. It's a sign of the world nowadays. It is.
Adam, you would have him on in a
Hope
heartbeat.
you had
I'm gonna
Trump
be
on,
honest.
and I
Adam, you would have him on in a
hope-
heartbeat. If you have the opportunity, you'd have him on in a heartbeat. Someone try.
BB? I
Yeah,
would have
fuck yeah,
only
you
if
would.
Bonnie Blue was there to defend Palestine.
You would
No,
have
guys,
BB on in a heartbeat. Don't even
Yeah,
try to
there's
fucking
a-
fake the fact.
You know what? Like, I am very like, well, like I know a lot about this subject. You know, that even maybe is a step, a shade beyond. It's a little bit like it's very painful for me. Aaron, your grandparents were the Holocaust, right? Okay, please.
Yes.
Our parents' generation, right? We're told that like we have to protect these people, and if we don't protect these people, the Holocaust will happen again. I'm Jewish, by the way, Kyle. I don't know if you could tell. I don't really read as Jewish, but okay.
I understand about that.
Our parents were told that, right?
We
And
can
they were
tell
really
right away.
scared. They were really scared because they knew Holocaust survivors, right? And it really freaked them out. And they were like, "We got to protect Israel and stuff like this." But like, it hasn't protected Jewish people. It is.
I
the
agree with
people
you.
that live
That's why,
in
Adam, you haven't
Israel-
watched.
It's been a failure of a project. Think about the way Jewish people were treated prior to the Holocaust. For 1600 years, we were losers. Everywhere we went, they said, go away. Everywhere we went, they were killed. It sounds a lot like the Palestinians. Because they are people that are dispossessed, and everywhere they go, they get killed. And if we can't see ourselves in that, it's a shanda.
Adam, I'm going to tell you something really quick. I don't agree with Netanyahu. I disagree with a lot of things he's doing. I think he's acting. It doesn't matter. I think in certain aspects he's acting the same way as Hamas is. We've talked to him about this.
No, there's no. See, this is what I mean. You're saying he's acting the same.
No, but Hasan, you're disregarding the point. And Adam, you're not listening.
There's no comparison between Benjamin Netanyahu and Hamas. That's my point. The point is that Hamas.
You tried to compare them earlier.
No, Benjamin Netanyahu is infinitely worse. That's the point. Israel is the Israeli military, and its conduct is a million times worse than anything Hamas could have ever done. It is hundreds, if not thousands, of October 7s that Benjamin Netanyahu has done with superior firepower over the course of the last 2 years. There's a mass starvation happening. Israel is the much more powerful entity in this process, and it's backed by the most powerful country on the planet, the United States of America.
Yeah, I think bottom line, guys, on the Folsom podcast, we're willing to have anyone on the planet. That's just that's the only way to think of it.
All you have to think of it is in this way: you have the longest occupation in modern history, right? And you have a group of individuals that don't have a right to self-determination. They don't have a country, right? And it's been this way in Gaza since 1967. Okay, in Israel, it's a country. They're in the United Nations. They can vote in their government. These people don't have those rights. And guess what? Right now, there's a fence around them, and they're trapped there. It's not a one-on-one. You don't even have to. It's literally. Hamas is better than Israel. You don't even have to frame it that way. That's just the situation with the Palestinians and the Israelis, right? Who are like living on either side of that fence, and it's just like, guys, like I get what you guys got to be fucking stressed as shit right now, but like it's just like
we're good. Trust.
It's not. Have it like get in trouble for anything else.
You're right, Adam. I understand your point of view. Though. We do a lot of comedy. We do a lot of fun stuff. So you're right. We actually definitely didn't need to do this.
People like to see
I totally agree with you.
There is no good purpose. There's no good purpose to interviewing Benjamin Netanyahu unless you're like literally there to fucking laser him or directly arrest him and send him to The Hague, which is not going to happen under any circumstance, especially not inside of the White House. So the only thing that happens here, even if it's a failure overall because of how fucking how intensely disliked Benjamin Netanyahu is, the goal on his end was to basically use your platform in the same way that they use CNN. So in a way, you guys turned into CNN.
I don't think that we've already talked about this, but I don't think just because we platform people, they fall for everything the guest says. And this is the perfect example.
I know that, and they clearly aren't, and people are going to be more mad at you guys as a consequence of interviewing.
Yeah, they're going to be mad at us.
Yeah, my point is that if you're asking me about the morality of it, there were journalists that were implicated and also charged with crimes in the Nuremberg trials for literally participating and doing propaganda for the Nazis, right? So in that regard, if you were to ask, will there ever be a Nuremberg-style trial for Israel? I don't know. Probably not. Okay? That doesn't mean that the crimes are not comparable. And that doesn't mean that your moral culpability in this regard is not close to what those guys did. I'm not saying that you guys are going to be tried in the Nuremberg-style trials, but the moral culpability is still there for not, for conducting an interview such as this one.
I can definitely understand your perspective, Hasan, for sure. I just think that, that's just what we're going to do with the Full Send Pod. And I don't know, maybe we got to get a little better at grilling them, or maybe next time when we have a guest like this, we can hit up people like you, Hasan, and get what you would ask and stuff like that. But
no, Benjamin Netanyahu is never entering the same room as someone like myself. If I were to be in that room, he would not do this podcast with you, or maybe they would assassinate me.
Let me ask you something, Hasan, why wouldn't you do someone from both sides?
What do you mean?
I mean, we've already debated this.
But if you could do Netanyahu and do somebody else, why wouldn't you do that?
But I don't think that there's both sides in the situation. There is the perpetrators, like that's why I'm saying it's like akin to interviewing Adolf Hitler.
Hamas, and you can do Netanyahu.
There is no both sides in the situation. That's why I'm saying it's like interviewing a concentration camp survivor and then interviewing Hitler. You know what I mean? Is there both sides in the situation? No. Interviewing the leadership of the Jewish partisans in World War II versus interviewing Adolf Hitler or like one of his loyal advocates or whatever is not comparable. There are no both sides in a genocide. That's why it's a genocide. It's such a big crime that it doesn't even justify a genocide in retaliation to said genocide. It's the crime of all crimes.
Guys, I think you're getting in the weeds a little bit, right? It's not about.
No, I mean, no. I'll be honest.
He's like you guys are well known not for politics, right? And it's like, unless you're not going to research more and get ready. Look, you're Rocky. Guys, just like politics sucks, right? I got made fun of for liking it when I was a kid. It should go back to fucking being like for losers, right? Everyone's into fucking politics now. It sucks. It's just like you don't have to purport to like that to know about it, and just like leave it to fucking like the fucking Wolf Blitzer. You know, it's just it's not. Everything is content on it.
Whatever fucking happened with Wolf Blitzer.
Me too.
He did?
No, he's still kicking. How dare you guys come for the Wolf?
Wolf Blitzer still buzzing around?
He's still at CNN, yes. But Wolf Blitzer also, ironically, literally worked for AIPAC before he did CNN.
For someone that like understands like what's happening in the world, like, and you guys don't have to, because like people love you for prank and lifestyle content. You know,
yeah, see, that's where I think I'm gonna be honest. I think that's where you're a little stop.
What?
But yeah, no, go ahead. You're good.
I gotta go.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Guys, Kyle, it was really nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, bro. We'll link back.
I'll talk to you soon, man. Are you in LA?
I went up to Steve. No, I'm in New York.
New York? All right.
Adam, I'll see you, buddy.
Easy,
what's up, bro?
Take care.
Did he just shut off his laptop? That's so funny. Oh my God, he's such a fucking boomer.
So that's actually what I want to ask you, because
wait, how do I? Why is he still in the call? Okay, here.
I don't know, but he gets pissed at us. Understandably, he gets pissed at us for platforming, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is like, when are we supposed to say no? When are we supposed to not do certain things?
I mean, look, there are certain people. There are certain people that that not everyone is equipped enough to be able to talk to. Because that conversation, instead of being a productive one, turns into one where they could just like do propaganda and use the platform that you have to get their message across. I would use the same principle for Nick Fuentes, for example, except with Nick Fuentes, he's a neo-Nazi, but he hasn't done literal fucking crimes like Benjamin Netanyahu has, while also simultaneously being a neo-Nazi of a different sort. So it's even worse than someone like Nicholas Fuentes, and I don't think that Nicholas Fuentes is appropriate to also platform in this situation.
What do you think about the goal of the Full Sun podcast being to platform anybody? What do you think about that overall? That's the direction we're going to go, right?
The reason why I think it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. I obviously can't fucking advocate for deplatforming, especially in this day and age, especially in this time and place, because a lot of these institutions that would otherwise be tasked with like taking people. Hello? Oh, your camera pooped for a second. A lot of these institutions that are tasked with deplatforming people spend way more time deplatforming someone like myself, or at least trying to deplatform someone like myself, for having a consistent moral anti-genocide and anti-Zionist position than people who are actually anti-Semitic. They call me anti-Semitic, despite the fact that I'm not anti-Semitic. The reason why I would still choose not to platform neo-Nazis and things of that nature, regardless of how equipped I am at talking to them about these issues and being able to push back adequately, is because a lot of these guys are simply looking for any opportunity to get their message to a broader audience. They don't actually care about the truth. They don't actually care about coming across like good or bad. They just want to be heard, because every single time they go in front of a larger audience, they end up winning over some people in the margins to their side. Okay. And if you understand that they are not honest brokers here, that they don't like care about, back and forth discourse, then ultimately you're playing a role in allowing people to be recruited to that side. You're playing a role in getting more people to be recruited to neo-Nazis, to neo-Nazi groups. And I think that ultimately that is very dangerous.
That's why we're gonna have both sides on.
But having both sides on doesn't actually make up for that. Is my point.
I agree with you too.
And then there's also no comparison to Benjamin Netanyahu on the other side anyway.
Hasan, I've told you multiple times. Me and Kyle disagree with a lot of things Netanyahu has done. We do not agree.
But
we stand neutral on this. But I mean, I understand the whole problem is platforming. But that's what we're gonna have from each side. A representative that's gonna fucking tell us exactly what.
Well, the best possible thing you guys could have done before this interview. I mean, the best possible thing would have been to not have this interview at all. But the second best possible thing, if you were like adamant about having this interview, would have been to potentially bring someone that is knowledgeable before you did the interview, so it didn't just simply so that Benjamin Netanyahu didn't use you guys like a fucking fleshlight, is what I'm saying, to just make himself look like not the demon that he is, but instead of a personable person. Like, here, I have something here that was sent to me from an excerpt from the interview that you guys conducted, where you asked him if he prefers, Burger King or McDonald's or whatever. And it's really interesting because like people have yelled at me for doing this with like a dude in Yemen that they claim is a fucking terrorist. Okay. That dude is a 19-year-old in Yemen. He has no power. He holds no power on the planet. He is at any given moment.
I mean, it just came up in the conversation.
At any given moment, he could be fucking assassinated by American bombs, by Saudi bombs, or any other. Like, he is one of the least powerful people on the planet. This Benjamin Netanyahu is one of the most powerful people on the planet. So in this opportunity, instead of humanizing him, you guys could have had someone that is knowledgeable enough not to ask that question. And instead, when you say, like, are you starving children? And he says no, the person could turn around and say,
for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, Hasan, you make a great point, and I understand your comparisons to Hitler. I see your perspective. And yeah, I think just with the Fulsome Pod, like I told you, we're just not here to choose the guests. We're going to have anyone on, even if it is a wanted war criminal, and we're just going to let the viewers decide. And I think they spoke very clearly. And I don't think just because we platform people, that people fall for the person's message.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, that's just the bottom line. Like, go look at the comments.
We give you an
I just don't think that, I don't think that you guys would do that, is my point. Like, because there's no other, because you already said you wouldn't, you already said you would not, if given the opportunity, you would not interview Adolf Hitler. So there is a limit to it. Like, there's an upper limit.
Well, we didn't say that. We didn't say that. We said it's hypothetical. We said it's hypothetical.
But also, Hasan, it's crazy.
And I think it's evident that just because we platform someone, just because Nelk sits next to them, doesn't mean we agree with everything they say or do. One, because we definitely don't. And number two, just because we platform someone, it doesn't. Our viewers are fucking smart. Like, go read the comments. Like,
yeah, but also
proof that just because we have someone on, it doesn't necessarily mean a W for the guest.
No, I understand that. There are plenty of people that I disagree with that I communicate with. But there's a difference between, there's an upper limit to it, is my point. And that upper limit is like far past when it comes to fucking someone like Benjamin Netanyahu. My limit is far before Benjamin Netanyahu. It's someone like Nicholas Fuentes or someone like Andrew Tate. But even if I were to engage with people like that, it depends on the platform that they have and how much prominence and how much influence they hold over a large enough audience. Because I feel like it's unproductive, it's counterproductive if they hold no staying power whatsoever. So I'm not saying that it's bad to interview Benjamin Netanyahu, but if you were going to do that, it's such a important task that you have to take it seriously, and you have to have someone who is knowledgeable to be able to push back, because he's a fucking liar.
Son, you're missing the point. As you know, then they're going to be very specific with who they allow to interview them. We've already covered that, right? Is his PR team going to allow him to go on a HasanAbi fucking live stream? Probably not.
No, of course not. They would.
Someone that's had Trump on 3 times.
No, I think. Listen, I think we're gonna wrap this up soon. It's fucking.
Wait, last thing I want to ask.
We're in Europe.
Hasan, last thing. We text off stream. Obviously, we are boys. We talked about lifting together, hooping together. So, there are things that we can't agree on, but when it comes to this stuff, it creates animosity. So I just want to point that out.
Okay, but all right, but you have to. There's a reason why there's 6,000 comments here. I'm looking at the comments right now, and everyone's cooking you guys.
We read them. We read them.
We know. Hasan, we're aware. But
I mean, that should be evident that the Folsom podcast has people on, and the viewers decide.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck, guys. You should have Gabor Mate or Gabor Mate is a Holocaust survivor.
I'm gonna have Steiny. I'm gonna have Steiny text you, and if you
okay, I will. I will send you people to interview. But if you were to ask me ahead of time, I would have told you not to do this interview. For the record, I only found out after you did this interview.
But when he texted me, and he said, "Yo, you had so and so on the podcast!" Exclamation point. Was that more of a shock or?
Yes,
what was that?
It was a shock.
Shock factor. Okay, making sure. Hasan, thank you so much.
All right. Bye, guys.
Talk to you soon, bro. All right, take care.
Oh, ay. Don't send them Norm. He's not good on podcasts. No, I wouldn't. Gabor Mate, I think, would be better than. No, I think. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I think they realize they bit off more than they can chew because like everyone's cooking them. Zero pushback. You literally just let a war criminal talk freely for an hour to millions of fans. Just horrible. You guys are truly. That's what it is.